So nutraceutical, food or cosmetic brand, if you have any of this, you cannot miss this podcast. In fact, even if you want to be an entrepreneur who has a business which lasts a century, you should definitely listen to this podcast. Well, joining me here is Ankit, who is the MD of JK Botanicals, which has been in the industry from 140 years and has a business across 40 countries. They are India's leading lab-tested herbal ingredient manufacturers. Welcoming Ankit to the podcast here.
Thanks, Eamon. Thanks for your introduction.
Ankit, I wanted to actually ask you, we've been talking about the legacy which is 140 years old. Let's dive in directly. Let me ask you for myself, what's the why behind your business and how have you kept the company going on for 140 years?
So, Eamon, it was started by my great-great-grandfather. So, it was like almost like 5 generations back. It was started in 1885 in Amritsar with a small shop. And he had just one basic principle that he wanted to sell genuine herbs. And we are just living up with that same principle and trying to sell genuine herbs. That's it. Because of just selling this, we are able to get at this level what we are.
So sometimes it's just the basic principles work so much, right? So you're saying that is that drive to sell genuine and honest ingredients that have got you here.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And while we speak about lab-tested herbal ingredients, when we say herbal ingredients, what does herbal ingredients exactly encompass?
So herbal ingredients is not just one format of selling. So basically it's like not one size fits to all.
Right.
So every brand has to have a different solution as per their application needs. So let's take a simple example of ginger. Like ginger, starting with the whole ginger, you can make fine cuts, size all different cuts for the herbal tea industry. Then you can do a steam treated powder, which is good for the food industry. Then also we do extraction and we extract out the ginger oil. It's an active content which helps for the nutra customers, nutraceutical companies. And then you have your CO2 supercritical extraction, which is a green solvent and which keeps the aroma, flavor, everything intact and which is very useful in the food and flavor industry. So a herbal ingredient basically you can sell in different formats and as per applications you can use them.
Also, this is brilliant. So you spoke about just one product which is ginger and the applications across powder, across aroma, across nutraceutical.
So various and various industries needs everything in different.
Very interesting. I never knew this.
Right.
And since we're talking about this, we spoke lab tested herbal. You explained me herbal. What does it encompass? What do you mean by lab testing and what is the relevance of it in India?
So lab testing now in India, basically majorly if you see companies or anyone, they are just testing it by appearance or just doing some basic testing. But lab testing does not encompass of that. It has to be scientifically verified whether it is pure, potent and safe to consume.
Okay.
Once again, I can take an example of ashwagandha. Ashwagandha powder, it has to be pure. Once I say pure, there should be no adulteration, no fillers of stems or maybe rice starch, anything people add. Or it has to be clean. And second is potent. It has to be potent. The active content has to be tested well. Like in ashwagandha, there is total vithanolites which has to be tested, and it has to be safe. It comes from soil, so there is a lot of microbial content. It has to be treated for it.
So basically, what you're saying is because it comes from nature, forest, it has to be pure. Clean, safe, and potent.
Once you say clean, it's pure. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say potency of it, like there are so many Shilajit gummies out there, etc. There are so many ashwagandha powders, etc. Are all of these safe? Are all of these kind of clean and potent?
Yeah, they are.
Like, do all of them, all brands?
It has to be tested well. So that's what it has to be scientifically tested. So like we are in a mission that we want to make Ayurveda. We want to change the perception of Ayurveda by supplying lab tested herbal ingredients, which will truly change how people think about Ayurveda.
That's a brilliant mission. What percentage of people in India, from a company point of view, what percentage of companies actually do lab testing, do use lab tested ingredients?
Again, people are testing, but they're doing very basic testing. So maybe I feel about only 30 to 40% are doing the real scientific way of testing the
So that number needs to go up, right?
yeah, that has to go up.
Only then an ashwagandha, a moringa is going to be useful to us.
Yes, yes.
Because without that potency, it's kind of no use.
Right.
Great. I think that's a very good insight. And one more, there has been a controversy around because they come from soil. You said there are heavy metals around them.
Right.
What do you have to say about them?
So heavy metals is not unique to any Ayurvedic herb.
Right.
So it ideally comes from soil, the mercury, arsenic, or any heavy metals which comes from soil. The only difference it differentiates between any agriculture produce versus an herb is the herbal industries has always been a very unorganized sector because there is no one machine to clean all the herbs. So you ideally need, you have different shapes, size, leaves, stems, root,
Absolutely.
and you really need a lot of different machines to clean this herb. And we know the technique how to clean the herb. Once the herb is well cleaned, you not only save from microbial, you also can get rid out of lower pesticide content. The herb needs to be well cleaned before you.
Just from my curiosity point of view, how do you clean these? Like, how do you get the metals out? Is it like magnet or?
Yeah, so yeah, you have to use magnets, metal detector. Everything has to be well cleaned so that the herb is safe to consume.
That's how you are exporting so much across 40 countries, right?
Yeah.
Because the lab testing that you do and the metals that you're removing, you're making it clean, is on another level.
It makes us compliant for any country.
Right.
Whatever herbs we are selling is compliant for any of the countries is what we are supplying. And there is aggregated labs which we use, international labs where we use and test these heavy metals for every batch what we produce.
So, let's say if I'm a startup in the nutraceutical or the cosmetic sector or in the supplement space, what should be like, a framework that I should follow, or what are the things that I should be careful about?
So, Himal, we have a 5-step quality framework,
Okay.
which we always ask our team to follow, or any startup can also follow that simple framework. It's a 5-step, very powerful framework, which we call PCMMS. This will not only enhance or make the product very effective, but it will also save you money about 30 to 40%. Money you can save. So starting with P is always check on the COA, what is the part of the plant used. Like for example, moringa, people only sell leaves. This mix it with stems, so leaves or stems, whether it's the seed or whether it is the gum, there is also moringa gum. So you should know what part of the plant you're using in your formulation.
So that's P.
That's P. Then C comes for cleaning and drying. Think whether your herb is well dried. If it's not well dried, there will be fungal growth, which is not, if you cannot see that, but there is fungal growth already done. And again, the cleaning, once it's well cleaned, the heavy metal and pesticides limits goes way beyond the international norms what you require.
So that's C.
That's C. And M stands for microbial load. Again, you have to see what's the microbial load in the herb. It needs to be treated using steam. That's the third M. Then one more M stands for method. Now, this is the biggest challenge. Now, there are international books or any pharmacopoeia books. It's published by Indian Pharmacopoeia, USP, US Pharmacopoeia, or EP, or any good reference book you say which has validated test method of testing these herbs. You cannot just use any in-house test method to know the potency of the herb. So you have to use a validated test method, and with this test method, you have to use an instrument like HPLC or UV where you can quantify the actual potency of the herb.
Okay.
That is very important.
Okay.
And adding to this method, you need to have, this is the fourth M, and last is S. S stands for standard. So there are reference standards given by third party, a certified vendor.
Professionals.
They like Chromodex, Sigma, they give you the right standard. And then you compare with this standard and using this method, you can exactly know what what is the potency. Again, people are using in-house standards, which give you inflated results, which will not help you. It is just following these 5 steps. It is, you can save like, instead of uh, you're buying a Hyundai car and paying a price of a Mercedes.
Oh, that's a very good example.
Yeah, yeah. So just follow these 5 steps. You can save a lot.
So you can save 30 to 40% of money also. And besides getting a Hyundai product, you can get a Mercedes.
Mercedes, yeah.
Right? So high premium quality
Premium
product.
quality, definitely.
So I think this is a framework that every startup in the nutraceutical industry should definitely go through.
Thanks, yeah.
Right. So with that, I think we've spoken a lot about overall lab testing herbs. What is the future of herbal ingredients, or rather lab tested herbal ingredients in the next 10 years?
So people will start asking, people will not be happy with the word only natural.
Okay.
They will ask for scientifically validated natural products. And again, people will ask, demand for clinically studied material, complete traceability, whether the ingredient from where it is coming, in the sourcing, complete, clear, transparent test reports, and definitely customized ingredients, because again, one size does not fit everyone.
Right.
And so they'll need customized, because now everyone wants to come in gummies, honey sticks, a lot of different applications are coming. So heritage will remain important, but science will become non-negotiable.
Oh, that's a good one. I understand that. So every time, along with natural, it needs to be scientifically validated or lab tested, because that will bring more trust to the world.
To the world, yeah, because people are asking.
And I think more and more people are moving towards the natural side of things.
Right.
Right. I think that was a very insightful conversation. But before we end, I will go to the last segment, which is a rapid fire segment.
Yes.
So I want to ask you questions and you need to give me answers spontaneously.
Sure.
Right. So let me start with tea with herbal cuts or classic chai for you?
Definitely cuts, herbal cuts.
Okay. Farm visit or lab visit?
Farm visit. It's a lot of exploration is there.
Okay. Yeah, I know. You've told me stories about visiting farms and forests.
Yeah, a lot of exploration.
Instinct or data?
Ideally, some data, but I also go mostly with my instinct.
Tells a lot about you. Tradition or science?
Okay, so yeah, again, what I said, tradition is important, but science will remain
So
non-negotiable.
tradition with science.
Tradition with science.
Okay. If you were not in this business, Ankit, what would you be doing?
Maybe some event management company.
What are you saying? That's a revelation for me. Sports or music?
Music.
Right. Short-term margins or long-term trust?
Long-term trust.
Oh, that's how you have a 140-year-old company. Volume growth or value growth?
Value growth always.
Quick scale or sustainable scale?
Sustainable scale.
Okay. Now this is very personal. One herb you personally consume regularly?
So I do moringa. Moringa
Okay.
has been a standard one which I've been using in morning. Empty stomach, that helps.
Lab-tested moringa.
Lab tested moringa.
And one herb you believe is very underestimated?
So I feel bale fruit, if you know the bailgiri, bale fruit, that's a wonderful herb for your gut. Even if you consume, it basically helps your gut a lot. So
You will have it every day?
yeah, you can have it every day.
Okay. And 140-year-old legacy now. Is that a pressure or privilege?
Privilege, always a privilege.
Okay, that says a lot about you, that you are taking it as a responsibility to drive it forward. Now, the other question which I'm going to ask you is, you've been in CC for a while now, and what has been your experience with CC?
So CC has helped me, ideally, it has inspired me a lot, meeting people. I have seen others' journey, and that has really inspired me. Everyone has a different journey. I don't want to name people, but a lot of things. Connection has, yes, a lot of people have helped me getting me connections or references. And even places where I was stuck, I suddenly got help from nowhere. People are calling me from Jaipur and everyone, and they wanted to help me out. It's a great experience, great learning. It's maybe a 360-degree experience and learning from CC.
Great, thank you.